Hello friends, welcome to Unacademy, which is the largest online education platform for GATE computer science and information technology as well as other streams of engineering. Now, in this session, I'll be discussing the most important topic for the GATE exam, which is the intermediate code generation and intermediate code. And myself, Mallesham, Devasane, here I'm going to talk about mainly the intermediate code, and in the coming sessions we have a very interesting topic where I'm going to start the code optimization. So those people who wanted to learn the code optimization, and here we are going to begin. An intermediate code is going to help you to understand later on the code optimization slowly. So let's begin today without wasting our time. Let me introduce myself if anybody is newly joined on this channel, and please let me introduce myself. You can visit my profile www.unacademy.com/devagatecsc, and whenever you want to find any lecture, if you are not able to find, you can go to Google and you can use my name Mallesham Devasane, plus you can search the topic that you wanted to learn, so you directly redirected to Unacademy. Okay, then this is my referral code. Whenever you want to access any video or you want to take the subscription, please use the referral code DEVALIVE. DEVALIVE is my referral code. And what are the highlights of my background? That I have worked in various famous institutes in India, and now I am working as an educator on Unacademy. I have completed MTech from IIT Bombay. I have guided more than 1 lakh students to crack the GATE exam, to prepare for GATE exam. And I'm almost having more than 12 years of teaching experience now. And what are the popular courses that I have taken on Unacademy, which are C programming, TOC, and compiler design. Yeah, so this is my referral code. Remember that DEVALIVE is going to get you one benefit, that is you will get 10% discount. Also, you will have my guidance to prepare for GATE exam. So these are the two benefits of using DEVALIVE to come to Unacademy to get the subscription on Unacademy. So you have two kinds of plans, Plus and Iconic. So what are the benefits of Plus? Plus, you will have the benefits to listen the live classes, to attend the live classes from any educator, and also you can attend any course, crash courses like rank improvement batches or long-term, short-term batches and revision batches. Any batch you can attend. Apart from that, every course you will have a weekly test and doubt solving session. So these are the specialities of the Plus subscription. And anybody is not aware of Iconic? Iconic is a superset of Plus, where Iconic has all the benefits of Plus, and also you will have a coach and planner and booster sessions and analysis of every test that you attempt and separate study material. So these are the additional benefits to the Iconic. Now, if you wanted to learn from me and also my friends who are working as an educator, who are working as educators on Unacademy, and here on my profile you can find quizzes of various mixed subjects, and also you will find classes for C, TOC, compiler algorithms as well, and revision classes, and also practice sessions and guidance sessions and daily practice problems. Also, you will have a free test series for GATE, CS and IT. If you do not aware of this free test series and you are unnecessarily wasting your time to search for the test series, guys, we have already launched the free test series, and many test series are there on Unacademy. You can join freely and you can practice them. But use this to access any link that you want from here, unacademy.com/devagatecsc. Yeah. So let me introduce for a few minutes, that is to know about the subscription details. Quickly I do that. If you are not knowing how to access the classes or how to take the subscription, visit this URL, or you can download Unacademy app and choose the goal. This is your goal, GATE and ESE, and click on subscription, right? Or you can search if any video that you want or any educator that you want to visit. And while accessing this, when you log in, if any code is asked, use the referral code DEVALIVE to access the free classes as well as paid classes. So both of them you can access using DEVALIVE. Okay, so what is the revolution in gate preparation that is introduced by Unacademy is the iconic subscription. So what is the specialty of iconic subscription? You will have a coach and also you will have one-to-one interaction with your educators. So that is the most beautiful thing in this iconic subscription, right? So if you are going for any online classes or any other platforms, you may not have the direct interaction with an educator, but here Unacademy has given the very good subscription plan that is iconic. And if you look at all the benefits that I have already discussed about the benefits of iconic, and plus you will have also having good benefits, but this additionally personal coach and test analysis, this kind of things are not there in the plus. Okay, so what is the benefit if you are coming to the plus subscription? You know, you have very good and top educators from India like Vishwadeep sir and myself, Khalil sir and Satish sir and Pankaj sir, Sanchit sir and Guntur sir and Sweta ma'am and Venkat sir and many more, and all of them I have not listed here, but many educators who are going to help you to learn the concepts. And this is what you have if you are going to take the subscription on Unacademy. You can attend any live class from any educator. That is the beneficiable from the subscription. So take the plus or iconic subscription, use the referral code, do not forget DEVALIVE. So to get 10% discount, also to access videos from any educator, you can attend any class. That is a benefit. And more benefits are structured courses from every educator, multiple courses for the same subject, study as per your interest, learn from top educators, study with proper planning and enjoy learning with more confidence. Every day you will gain the confidence that makes you to learn more and more, and you will never imagine the journey that you are going to face, but it's going to be good experience throughout your preparation. But you should always focus on taking the 1 year or 2 year or 1.5 year subscription so that you can learn everything from us. But if you don't have the time, 6 months is fine. But why do you require 1 month, 3 months? If you wanted to have a revision batch or you wanted to practice the questions, then 1 month, 3 months also helps you. But if you are starting from the scratch, it's better to go for 1 or 2 years plan. Yeah, depends on the availability of the time. So you can see the plans 1 year, 1.5 year and 2 years plans, and do not forget to apply the referral code DEVALIVE. And similarly iconic, the two popular plans 1 year and 2 years, and you can see the amount that is for the iconic subscription. And guys, these are on this YouTube channel, and you have every course from our top educators, and these are going to be beneficial for you, and please attend every session too. And guys, please, if you are watching this video, do not forget to like this session. Please like this session and also subscribe if not yet done. Yes, good afternoon. Yeah, Nagendra Gupta, good afternoon. Yeah, let's begin. Guys, in the previous session, we have learned introduction to compiler, then lexical analysis, then syntax, then semantic analysis to the SDTs, right? So after this, now we are going to learn the two things, that is representations of the intermediate code, in which we are going to see two representations. What is linear representation? What is non-linear representation? So if you look at first, why do you need intermediate representation? The first topic in this, why do you require intermediate representation? Okay, so this is taken from IIT's ISC Bangalore, and which is very well explained by famous faculty. Now let me explain you what is the advantage of intermediate representation. Suppose if you are going to use, let's say, 4 programming languages, and you want to implement on 3 different machines. Basically, how many compilers you require, how many front ends you require, that you know already, right? So good evening, Satyajit. Let me talk about first how many compilers you require in general. So each one you need to implement on 3 machines. So 3 into 4, total 12 machines are required, 12 compilers. But compiler you can divide into phases like front end as well as back end. And what this optimization job is, let's see it. Now if you are going to use here and 4 front ends, because of there are 4 different programming languages, 4 front ends and For each one you require separate code generator, and also each one you need a separate optimizer, because you need to target a different machine, you need to have a different code generator. You can say here optimizer used for a code, intermediate code. So you require 12 intermediate code generators for 4 programming languages. 12 you require. Here you require 3, separately 3, and here also separately 3, because you are not separating it, right? It's a part of the implementation, and you need to have separate code generator for each one. So 12 intermediate code generators and 12 code generators, and this makes a very difficult to implement. So now do not worry much about this side, and I'm not worried about this side. And what is the advantage of using intermediate code generator? What is the advantage, guys? You can enhance the portability of the compiler, guys. Look at that. Now compiler I want to implement. Look at, you can standardize the intermediate code optimizer. You can standardize. So what you do is, this intermediate code optimizer is going to understand all the 4 languages. Just after code generator you can optimize it, and then this code optimizer gives the input to the different code generators. So you can have 4 front ends. So front end is also includes now intermediate code generator. Now this is a code optimizer. So you can enhance the portability of the compilers because of these intermediate code optimizers. So the one advantage is having intermediate representations. So this intermediate code optimizer can understand every intermediate code and converts to the optimized intermediate code. So here you might produce intermediate representation, and you can build one intermediate code. If you don't have this, then it is a part of the compiler. Now if you have this, you can separate from compiler and front end separately implement, and this intermediate code optimizer and gets the intermediate representation, and you can use here lexical analysis, syntax analysis, semantic analysis, even intermediate code generator. Then you can use code optimizer and to optimize the code and give the output to the different machines. Just you require one optimizer, but you definitely require 4 different intermediate code generators. So you should be careful what I'm trying to explain here, and let me explain my way. That is, suppose you are implementing 4 programming languages like C and C++ and let's say Java or any other programming language. Okay, just talk about 2 only. So if you are implementing programming language, then what you do? Lexical analysis, syntax analysis, semantic analysis, then intermediate code generator. So now we will implement separately again. This is a front end. Now this output is intermediate code, that is intermediate representation output. So now this code optimizer, just it can optimize, it's not compulsory, you can also include as a part of it. Now if you have this intermediate code generation, and instead of implementing different code optimizers, you can implement one code optimizer. You can save the time for all, because code optimizer you can build uniquely for all the programming languages, because intermediate representation you can use universally, you can represent them, and then you can write as per your want, as per your requirement, machine 1 and machine 2. Right? If I want to implement 2 programming languages on 3 different machines, you can use this way. Right? So this is the one advantage of having intermediate code generator and code optimizer for intermediate code. So 2 things are important here. Just having intermediate code is not enough. Code optimizer also required to make generalization. Okay. Yeah, fine. So what are the intermediate representations? As I said, linear and non-linear. If you look at linear and non-linear, we have the postfix code comes under linear representation, and 3 address code is a linear representation, and SSA code, SSA means static single assignment. We will study slowly. Static single assignment. What is it? Wait for some time. And syntax tree is a non-linear, means a graph oriented, even directed acyclic graph. Good evening Sandeep. Good evening everyone guys. And this is also non-linear. Now control flow graph, it is not a context free grammar, remember, it is a control flow graph. You can also use to represent the intermediate code, but this is the advanced one where while optimizing we'll implement it. Right now we will talk about only DAG and syntax tree. So these are the important representations of the intermediate code. IR also called as intermediate representation and intermediate code. Now linear representation, I just told you, you have postfix and 3 address code and SSA code. And non-linear representation mainly syntax tree and DAG. And control flow graph also there, but we will study in the coming topic. Fine. Now postfix code, I think you have studied this postfix code even in data structures, right? So what is the postfix code? If you have A star B and this operator will be there after operands, so this is A B star, this is called as infix code and this is a postfix code. And now you require to understand how to write the postfix. For that you need to use the precedence rules like A star B, because multiplication is evaluated first, then addition, then equal. Then you can write equivalent, the postfix code for this code. And how do you write the code guys? You can write AB star, that is 1 unit, and another AB star, and then you will write a plus between these two, so plus comes later, and for this equal should be applied, so x will be there, equal comes at last, right? But you require to understand here AB star is 1 and then x plus equal, then we applied this one and this one. Okay, it's not that much difficult because you might be practiced many times how to write the postfix code, and this is also one of the intermediate representation, IR, intermediate representation. And let's move on to 3 address code. So basically you have so many types of code like 4 address code, 5 address code, it depends on what is your requirement. 3 address code basically talks about every instruction that you write, every statement has at most 3 addresses, is going to deal with at most 3 addresses. What kind of instructions, like x is equal y and x is equal to y plus z. If you look at that, here variables are called as addresses, x, y, z. Every instruction has at most 3 addresses. Good evening Vaishnav. Every instruction has at most 3 addresses. Now let's focus on the how to write 3 address code for this. Various number of 3 address code. Method 1 or answer 1 answer. And you know that these are going to be highest precedence, so you can do that. T1 is equal to A star B and T2 is equal to A star B and T3 is equal to T1 plus T2. This is the T1 and T2 and the result you are storing in T3, and finally T3 value can be assigned to X. But what is the problem with this code? You are using unnecessarily more variables, so we can do better way. What you can do is, you have already calculated A star B, you can store in T1, and T1 plus T1 you can store in X. Yes or no? You are going to use one temporary variable, but still you can do the better answer. If you have only this is your program, so you can also reuse the variables. Answer 3. The A star B, once I calculate, I can store in A. Then what I do is, I'll just do again A plus A. So I'm going to use A plus A and I'll store in A. I don't need X at all. Just 2 variables are sufficient for this code, but you decide which is the best for you. 2 variables here, and here total number of variables are here 4. Here how many variables we have? A, B, X, and additionally 3. It's total 6 variables. And for the exam point of view, they always ask the answer 3 strategy. And tell me how many minimum number of variables you require for the given expression. So this is the important for exam point of view, guys. The last one, answer 3 strategy, is important. How can you write the 3 address code with less number of variables? But when you look at every instruction, you have at most 3 addresses. Then why do you require this at most 3 addresses concept, guys? Anybody? The reason is you have high level code and you have, let's say, this 3 address code, and you have assembly code. If you look at the difference, high level code you can convert to 3 address code, and 3 address code you can convert assembly code, and these two are machine independent, so they are very easy to understand, and this is a machine dependent. Everyone? Yeah. Clear this point? Now what is the advantage is converting from high level code to 3 address code is so easy, and 3 address code to assembly code not easy, but it will be little bit easier than high level code. Why is that? If you are saying x is equal y plus z, what you can use directly, you can use add instruction. If possibly move may be required. But when you have here something like y plus z into a, and you can't use directly assembly instruction for this, you need to break y plus z into a. You need to break something is equal y plus z, and then you need to multiply something, and which takes time. But equivalent 3 address code can be converted easily to assembly code by understanding each statement has one operation. Yeah. So this is the advantage of using 3 address code. Fine. So I hope you understood why we are writing 3 address code. Now let's move on to the different representations, because we will not store the 3 address code as it is in the main memory. We can use the data structures to represent 3 address code. We can represent 3 ways. 1, triple notation; 2, quadruple; 3, indirect. So I have example 3 address code. Some 3 address code is there which was converted using code generator. So high level code we have converted to 3 address code. Now this 3 address code, how do you store in the main memory? So we can use the triples and we can use quadruples. First let's look at triples, then we look at quadruples, then we look at indirect triples. Now in triple notation we have 3 columns. You can see that operator, operand 1, operand 2. So if you look at this is called as operator, multiplication, and 2 operands. This is the argument 1 and this is the argument 2, and we have B and C, and here we have not calculated B star C. We have stored it as it is, but we stored operator and operands, and T1 is going to be just like an address. This is address. Whenever you want T1, you go to this address and calculate the result. Now this 0, wherever you want T1, we are going to use that 0. Can you see that? And plus is the next operator, and A is one operand, T1. The T1 is nothing but 0. But T1 is the variable and 0 is an address. Remember that. We don't want T1 to store again. And next, the instruction we will save it 1, and wherever use T2, and we can replace with 1. That is this one. And this next one, the third instruction, B star C, star and B C, and the instruction is stored at address 2, that is nothing but T3. Wherever you want to use T3, you can use directly 2, address 2, that is address, remember. And then you want to divide D by T3. T3 nothing but address 2 and division D address 2. And the result we need to store in T4, but we don't compute. We directly store the instruction. Whenever you want T4, we go and we calculate. So that is additional job for you. So I hope you understood. The main motto of this instruction is, let me tell you by writing here, T1 is equal B star C, T2 is equal A plus T1. What do? You store operator and you store two operands. This is the first instruction, but you store at some address. Let's say 1000 is an address. And what do? Next instruction plus A, T1 is actually 1000 now. You might store, let's say 1010. So this is going to be your main memory. This is going to be your main memory. If you are going to look at your main memory, the 1000 may start here until this 1000, before 1010, then star B, C somehow stored, and from 1010 plus A 1000 is stored, and so on, so on. So this is how the main memory we are going to use to store these three address code. Okay. Random stuff. Yes. In interface you don't have, but look at other engineering stream papers. You will understand how the MSQ is going to be. Unfortunately, they have copied 2020 gate paper. In a 2020 gate paper, there was no MSQ, right? That is the reason they have not mapped it. So go to the other engineering streams like mechanical, electrical, electronics. You will see the MSQ questions there, right? Don't worry about it. So don't assume MSQ will not come. So MSQ will come. If you want to see the pattern and look at other engineering stream papers, you will understand how the interface looks like. Alright. Now quadruples, you have operator and you have argument 1, you have argument 2, you have a result. Now the result is there. Guys, here address is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. It's not about operation, it's about how do you store. Satyajit, we are not doing any calculations now. We are storing the instruction as it is. We are storing the instruction as it is in the main memory. This is a code. We are analyzing the code, right? We are converting the code from the 3 address code to the memory representation. These are the data structures of 3 address code, representations in the memory. Remember that. We are not executing anything. We are not moving to the register now. It is the compiler side. It's not the runtime. It's the compile time. Remember that. Don't do such mistakes. We are compiling the code. We are compiling the code. Never confuse that compilation. We don't know what is happening at runtime. We have not converted into assembly code itself. By looking at this code, assembly code will be produced by the code generator. Code generator going to use this data structure. Right. Don't do any operation now. And yeah, star as it is stored, and B we stored here, C we stored here, and T1 is directly. So result everywhere, right? Whenever you have the operator and it's a binary operator, guys, unary operator will have only one operand. Argument 1 only will be there. So be careful about it. Suppose you have T6 is equal minus T5. How do you get that? Right, minus T5 and you will store in T6. That one of the column will be empty in quadruple. In triple, how do you write it? In triple, minus is the operator. Argument 1 is some address. T5 actually refers some address. That's all. That's all. T6 is going to be this address. Instruction address anyhow. So be careful when you represent quadruple. Okay, so every instruction directly will represent operator, argument 1 and argument 2 and result. So quadruple is so easy. The problem may happen with indirect triple. The problem may happen indirectly triple, guys. So what indirect triple is? Look at that. Indirect triple is just like you might have 100, at that you store 0, and let's say 102, I don't know exactly, it may be 105. I'm just numbering it in sequence, but don't confuse about it. 101, and that will be 1, and 102 that will be 2, and 103 is going to be 3, and 104 is going to be 4. Then what is the advantage? You go to the triple, instead of using 0 you use now 100. Instead of using 2, the 2 represent what? That is 102. And instead of using 1, use 101. Instead of using 3, 103. So at 103 instruction is not there. At 103 address is there. In that address you have actual instruction. Then what is the advantage of this one? What is the advantage of this one? You can freely move the code anywhere. You can freely move the code anywhere. Instead of referring direct address, so you can update this table every time. You can update this table, so you can use this 100 to 104 as it is in, right? So in triple table, and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 you can update using the loader. You can change the addresses, but the system should understand why should I use 100 to 104 as an indirect addresses. So there is a probability having that there is no movement of this 100 to 104, so you can use indirect addressing for them. So every notation has advantage and disadvantage here. Whether it's triple or quadruple, indirect triple, everybody has advantage. Disadvantages also there. Example, triples, space is less. Space you use less because one column, one attribute column is left, right? But the disadvantage is every time you need to calculate, because 100 actually refers instruction, not the value. Random stuff, your questions are disturbing my class, but still you have the plenty of guidance classes. Please comment there and catch me, right? And you can ask me directly. You know my number, why don't you call me directly? I will respond to you, right? Don't disturb my class. Random stuff, this is not the way you can interact with the faculty, right? So we are here to help you, so believe us, we will always help you, but don't disturb the class. What is happening? Yeah, your frustration I can understand, but everybody has own frustration, right? You should know where to ask, when to ask. All right, come on. So now we have, so look at that, what is happening. Now we have the three notations. Everybody has advantage and disadvantage. And now as I told, triples can occupy this space less, but if I want to calculate the B multiplication with C, the result is not stored. But in quadruple, you take more space. But at runtime, when you are converting to assembly code, this T2, what is that? When you are using T1, the result is directly taken, no need to calculate, because T1 is holding the result. But here T1 is not there. 100 means that you need to go to the instruction and you need to calculate. There is no result. In quadruple, in indirect and triple, there is no calculation of an instruction. So every time you need B multiply with C, then you need to calculate and you need to use it. So in quadruple, the advantage is if any instruction is repeating, like B multiply, available expressions basically. B multiplication with C is used 100 times. So calculate one time and store in T1 and use again and again. So you can save 99 times calculation. But in triple, so you may spend much time if the expressions are reused again and again. So that is what I am talking about. Even indirect triple, you are wasting unnecessarily to store the address in at another address. So this takes much time again. Okay. Now let's move on to another definition, SSA code. And what is SSA code? It is just 3 address code, guys. It is 3 address code only. What is 3 address code? We have seen every instruction has at most 3 addresses. Now, but what it is, every variable, that is basically every address, every variable has the single assignment in the whole code. You can't reuse for any other purpose. Every variable has a single assignment. What is assignment? Basically called as a definition. What is definition? A meaning, a single meaning. Right, now let's look at what is the given code. Yes, not quadruples. Relocatable codes are indirect ripples. Come on, Satyajit. These are indirect, right? These indirect ripples are relocatable. You can relocate this anytime, not a problem. This instruction is 0 is not available. You can relocate in indirect ripples. In indirect ripples, you can relocate the instructions. That is the advantage in indirect ripple. Come on, not quadruple. Quadruples also similar to triples, but extra result is stored in the main memory itself. So that if you want to reuse again, the result can be used without any extra calculations. Okay, now every variable has single assignment. Let's look at what is the meaning of this. A is equal to B star C is given code and B is equal to A plus B. This is a 3 address code. 3 address code, but it is not SSA code. How do you know it is not SSA code? Look at that. Look at that. B is getting the meaning from outside and C is also getting the meaning from outside, and A is internally you define, that's okay, and so you are using it, but B is also getting from outside. But this B, you are changing the meaning of B. This B is not allowed in SSA code because B already has a meaning. You can't redefine it. You can't assign it with some other value. Not allowed in SSA code. Can you write equivalent as SSA code? Yes, I can do that. How can I do that? So A is equal to B star C and A plus B. I can use another name B1. Then this is SSA code. You can rename the variables to convert into SSA code. Yeah. Clear this point? So what is SSA code? Every variable has a single definition. So B already has a meaning. Now nobody can change the meaning of that B. That is, B should never come as a left side of the assignment, LHS of an assignment, right? Okay, let's move on. Syntax tree. Now we have syntax tree. So what is the syntax tree? There is a difference between parse tree and syntax tree. Parse tree basically we construct to derive the string from the given grammar. Syntax tree basically we use for expressions. So expressions have operators and operands. So here operators acts as intermediate nodes. Non-leaf, you can say simply. Operators treated as non-leaf nodes, and operands you can use as leaf nodes. So how do you do that? A star B. So A is one node, B is another node, and star we are going to use it for A and B, and another star A and B. Here who is the leaf node? This A is a leaf node. These are the leaves here. Either you can keep circle or non-circle, that's your choice. And addition. And then assignment. Left side is X. So this is called as syntax tree, where in that syntax tree, every leaf node, you can look at every leaf node is operand, every non-leaf is operator. So this is called as syntax tree, guys. And you can draw many ways syntax tree, with circles, without circles, that is your choice. So do not confuse if somebody not using the circles, that's okay. And what is the difference between syntax tree and direct acyclic graph? In the syntax tree, you are wasting your space basically. You are actually calculating again and again. A star B. So most of the people don't know. Actually here everything is address, guys. In future this all going to be addresses. Whatever you do calculations, we are going to define with addresses only, including leaves. Everything is address, guys. Non-leaves and leaves, everybody is going to be address. Because when you calculate A star B, you must store at some address, right? So at runtime they are going to deal as addresses. Remember that. Because you are writing a program, you may not aware of the runtime behavior. Now I am trying to help you this directed acyclic graph. How can it save the time? It's going to do A and B calculation, that is with A star B, and it is calculated once but you want to use twice, you can do in directed acyclic graph. Basically directed acyclic graph is used to eliminate common sub-expressions. So if any sub-expression is repeated, then you can calculate once, you can reuse it. How? The plus, what you do is you can use left side is A star B, right side is also A star B, because star already is an address. At that address it is defining A star B stored already. So you can use the same address for left operand and right operand of the plus. And assignment is not required because this assignment is actually plus wherever it is stored, that's you can assume as an X. Now X is not required here because X doesn't represent anything now, because the address already whatever the root stores, that you can assume as an X, right? So this is just represent our value of an expression as the tree, remember that. Okay, this is how we have the DAG representation. So here A star B calculated once, and here if anybody asks how many nodes and how many edges for this expression, you have to say 1 2 3 4 4 nodes. How do you know 4 nodes? 1 2 3 4 nodes. Even leaf nodes are also nodes, remember. And how many edges you have? Here 4 edges, 4 nodes and 4 edges. And when you see that edges, you know it, right? You can see that 1 2 3 4 edges. Yeah, if you want more videos, Tripathi, we will have the practice in marathon session. I will take them, Tripathi. Concept is enough, but practice is not enough. You require to attend the marathon sessions on Saturday and Sunday. So there you will practice more questions. Attend my gate questions and practice questions, you will get. Concepts are enough. Okay, now let's move on. See, as I told, the plus subscription as the live classes. You know the advantage of live classes. YouTube live classes, when we are interacting each other, you know that how much you feel and how much you gain the knowledge. But on Unacademy, immediate response when you ask the question. Here the response comes after 3 or 4 minutes, but on Unacademy you will have a live interaction with the educator and you can ask doubts immediately and it will be resolved in the same class itself. So you will know the actual computation of the exam, because of many people are going to interact with an educator. You will test your knowledge comparing with others, and so many benefits of the plus. And iconic, I told you, whenever you have a problem, there is always a coach for you to guide you every day, every moment. So that's a more beneficial, and you will also have a separate study material. And do not forget to refer the code DEVALIVE is my referral code. In case if you need any help, use this code to get the subscription. Now let's start the syntax tree and DAG. And there is an expression given to you, and how do you draw this syntax tree or DAG? And guys, it's not at all easy. It's not at all easy. And what is the approach you are going to use? Not the direct approach. First, write an expression for this by traversing from bottom to up. Then you will understand what is an expression. Find out from 3 address code expression. Then what is the expression you have to find out. But how do you find out? First you start with T5, then T2 minus T4. Then you should look at what is T2 to 4. Okay, T2 and T4. And what is T2? This one. And what is T4? This one. So substitute, but keep the parentheses, because you will have the confusion when we are keeping more expressions there. And T by T3. That's not enough. And here again further, look at this T3 is there. This T3 you have to substitute this thing here. And T1 you must substitute this thing here. So now it's going to be very lengthy. A plus T1 nothing but B star C and plus D as it is, but T3 is going to be B star C again, B star C. First you should be in a position to understand how to write an expression, guys. This is your expression. T5 is equal to, T5 is equal to, is that clear this point? Come on guys. T5 is equal to yeah, right. So let's move on to the syntax tree. Move on to the syntax tree. B star C, any updation I will do it. Yes, B star C, another B star C, yes, and A plus B star C, yes, and D by B star C, yes, and you need to assign equal to T5. So first you do the plus of both, plus, and there is equal, that is missing here, and you assign to T5. That is a syntax tree. And plus you do, equal is not compulsory because the result whatever you calculate, that is stored in T5. Right. This is the syntax tree. This is the syntax tree for the given expression. Everybody? Fine. Now, what is the DAG? B star C is only calculated once. You can see that. B, C and star. It's calculated once, that's all. And 2 times you want to use it. 2 times. You can see that here as well as here. And both the times use the same location. This is the location. Now how do you do that? Left hand side you can see that A plus B star C, and right side also you have D, that's the left operand to the division, and right operand is also B star C. And then for this the plus is going to be used for both of them and equal not required. So this is the DAG. And here be careful, if you have A already, please don't create another leaf node A. Come to this A if A comes twice. So how many nodes and edges here? That is important for gate exam point of view. And how many nodes are there? Look at, calculate. 1, 2, 3, 4 leaf, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 nodes are there. And how many edges you have? Calculate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 edges also. But not every time. Here it looks like same number of nodes and edges, but not every time. Yeah. Yeah, Tripati. The practice on compiler will be taken on next Saturday or Sunday, definitely. Okay. Now 3 address code, and some people want to learn how to write the 3 address code, and this is the high level code, guys. Just I want to show you how to write the 3 address code, high level code. And look at this. First you require to compute y star z, so compute it. X star y you want to compute it. And you need to compute x plus y star z and this one. So 4 different computations you have to do in particular order. Before computing this one, x plus y star z, first you need to compute y star z. So they have computed temp1 is equal to y star z, and then x plus temp1 is stored in temp2. And this is about x plus y star z. And this is about x star y plus z. And then they want to compare the left, whatever it is, temp2 with temp4. And this is stored in temp2 and this is stored in temp4. And temp2 less than or equal to temp4. Okay, that can be done in assembly code with one instruction. Remember that. Okay, you can check comparison. Compare temp to temp4. CMP instruction is there to do that. Okay, go to L. You can use a jump instruction for that. And then A is equal to 0 is direct instruction. So this is called as 3 address code. This is called as 3 address code. Is it the best 3 address code? Need not be, guys, because temp1, temp2, temp3, temp4 may not be required to write basically, because y star z, when you use it, in case y z job is over, then you can reuse them. Remember that. Okay, if you want the best 3 address code, I will help you. And guys, let's look at now. If you can also reorder, I'm trying to help you. Definitely these 2 must be done first, and you don't know which order it is your choice. These are the first, and when you are doing the first, y star z. In future still y and z required to use x star y. In future still xy required to use. That means you are not able to save the number of variables. So first whatever you calculate, let's say y star z, then in future y and z has to be used, and reordering is very important. So you can use t1 is equal y star z, or you can use t1 is equal x star y. Two approaches, guys. You don't know which one will save the number of variables. So most of the people, they are struggling to write the less number of variables. The reason is the reordering is allowed to optimize the code. Okay, and now I am doing the first approach 1. This is the approach 1, and after this job is over, and this is stored in t1. Now x plus t1, still the x is in future required, y required, z required. So what I am trying to do, first I calculate x star y, because y can be free. Here I am going to calculate, I will store in y because y is free now. In future nobody using y, so I can reuse the y. But if I do x plus t1, then I need x and y and z, guys, in future. So this is one advantage. So do this, y is equal x star y. Now x plus t1 you have, that x is over after this, so I can store in x, and I can do y plus z. Now y, z both are free, I can reuse that y plus z, and x greater than y, I can check that. Now if x greater than y, then go to L. Otherwise a is there already, you need to, instead of creating a is equal 0, you can reuse the existing variables. And if you don't have the use of x, y, z, you can reuse anybody. So I am using z because I know z is over. And here how many variables required? Approach 1, of course approach 2 also may take same. That is, already x is there, y is there, z is there, a is there. This many variables already there, right? Now among them, now I am going to use a, I have deleted because anyhow z was over, so I reused it, and x, y, z and extra t1 required. So only 4 variables are enough now. X, y, z, t1. With 4 variables, I can implement this code. Yeah, this is how in the exam they might ask, can you tell me the equivalent code with a less number of variables? Then 4 is the best answer, because anyhow x is coming, x, y, z are not known to you. They are arbitrary values, or they are taken using scanf statement, something like that. So you can't delete them. But a is equal to 0, you are defining it. You can use as your own variable if you want it. Yeah. Now the question is like that: find the minimum number of variables to represent 3 AC and SSA code. Now for this, I just told you a star b I can calculate. I can write a, because now this a star b nothing but a. So now I can do a plus a, I can store in a. That's enough. This is the best 3 address code in the world. This is the optimized 3 address code, with it can be done just with 2 variables. Yeah. So random stuff, I am not using the code optimization live now. Yes, in future if you want it, that is the live, right? So you can't use for other meaning. Yes, random stuff, you are right. You can't rewrite. Reuse is different, rewrite is different. You can reuse, but you can't rewrite. Okay, fine. You can use it, but you can't rewrite. Fine. Now SSA code. What is SSA code? And you can take the best 3 address code, you can just rename them, but you can't take every 3 address code. Remember, this is already the best 3 address code, and best 3 address code you can always write SSA code very easily. How? A star b, and a already has a meaning. Now a you can't take, so you can rename it. So whenever is renamed, then you need to rename them as it is, those who are depending on that. Now a again coming, you can't use the same a1 and now a2. So total here, a required, b required, a1 required, a2 required, total you require 4 variables. in equivalent SSA code, because you can't rewrite the same variable. Here in the best 3 address code, you just require 2 variables. And this is also important for the gate point of view, guys. This is also very important for the gate point of view. And they could ask the number of nodes and edges in the DAG, or number of variables in SSA code, number of variables in 3 address code. These 3 questions are very, very popular. Okay. So today what we have learned is very small, but in future code optimization we are going to use all of them. In intermediate representation, 3 address code, SSA code, postfix, you might be practicing data structure and syntax tree and DAG. So here DAG is important, and 3 address code and SSA code, right? And we are going to practice the previous year gate questions and new questions in coming Saturday and Sunday too. And finding minimum number of variables in 3 address code and SSA code is very, very important for the given expression. And if expression is not given, you must find out expression. Remember, anything is given, bring the expression and find the best answer for expression. Always expression is important for you. And finding the number of nodes and edges in the DAG we have done today. Okay, in the coming session, I'll be helping you code optimization. So without having the knowledge of code optimization and finding the minimum number of variables, we may fail. So you require, yes, Vaishnav, I have already made. So you can watch my videos, and guys, those people who want more practice, we have already have enough number of videos, and visit this. And in case you are not able to find, do just like this. On Google, search like this, Mallesham space Devasane plus, and which video you want? SDT, right? Syntax directed translation. And where do you want? Plus Unacademy. Just search. You will find all the videos on the Google page, whatever the videos I take. Anything you want, just replace this word with any word that you want. You want algorithms, TOC, compiler design, C programming, any topic, you can just search on the Google like this. You will see all the links in a sequence and you can access directly them. Yeah. Alright. That's very important. Is it clear? This is the way you can find my video directly on Google page. So you can search using, Google engine. Alright. So this is a Telegram group where we are already sharing the links every day. Why can't you subscribe to this? If you subscribe this, you can access everything we post, and you can go to the link section. You can look at all the links that we have posted already. And guys, and we have so many free YouTube channels. Please share with your friends so that they can also enjoy learning from us. Right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for attending my session, and do not forget to like. And I'm looking at the likes, guys. Please keep liking the session, and that's very important for us. And please share if you have any friends they want to learn from us, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much, and also comment if you are learning something from us. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye. See you in the next class.